The Hello Gamers horror games on Roblox are incredibly popular, and to be honest with you, a lot of them are really bad. So in today's video, I'm going to be showing you the top 10 scariest Roblox horror games, and some of these games you've never heard of, and they have 0 players, but they're great games. Make sure to subscribe, and if this video gets 2,000 likes, I'll make another top 10, but let's get into it. At the number 10 spot, we have a game called Far From Land. In this game, you control basically a shipping container ship. You can control it, you have to fix pipes, and you have to look into the back hallway of the ship and hold your breath if a creepy monster is coming up. There will be no spoilers in this video, but you can see one of the monsters very early on. It's basically just a robot, and it's pretty spooky. It's a lot like Five Nights at Freddy's, but you actually get to control a ship, which is pretty cool as well. You have to manage all 3 things at once. At number 9, we have the Haunted Staircase. This is based off of SCP-087. If you didn't know, SCP is basically like a creepypasta on the internet. There's a fake government website that talks about spooky monsters, and some of them are pretty goofy, but this one is actually very scary. Once again, no spoilers, but you get talked to over the radio, and you walk down a very, very, very long staircase, and some of the audio is really scary. Listen to this. There is a bit of a story to it, but just keep walking down the staircase. Trust me, it is scary just to walk down the staircase, and you might see some stuff down there. That's all I'm going to say. At number 8, we have Identity Fraud. Now, this is a very classic game. You walk around a brick building and just keep looking behind you because there are things that spawn behind you. I'm not going to spoil all of the monsters because there's a bunch of different ones. A couple of tips: follow some of the lights, try to find a button on the wall. And if you see another player in your lobby, just keep in mind that they may not be an actual player. Yeah, it's a little spooky, but there is a certain monster that may hide as another player. He is in the first area. There's a bunch of different areas. The game gets pretty scary, I'm not gonna lie. At number 7, we have Flee the Facility. Flee the Facility is a classic survival horror game. I used to play this game a ton back in 2019 and 2020. The game is still going very strong. Basically, you go and hack computers, and then you have to open the exits and get out. Now, the game doesn't look that scary on the surface, but let me just say, it is very intense. The game is very, very intense. Some of the maps have better atmosphere than others, and of course, this is a multiplayer game, so you're going up against people that might have very stupid-looking skins. But when a good player is chasing you, and you're the last person alive, yes, this game can be extremely scary. I think it's a great game. It still has a ton of players on it, so you probably have played it. I tried to steer away from the more popular Roblox horror games, but this one is still a classic. At number 6, we have Descent. Now, this is a super underrated game. It definitely takes a lot from Lethal Company. Basically, you're submerged in some weird test tube thing. You break out, and then you descend into this facility, and you have to go and collect a bunch of different items that you can sell for money, and you can buy more stuff with them, and you just keep going in, and you're trying to hit the quota. Like I said, a lot like Lethal Company. Lethal Company is a paid game on Steam, and this is not a remake of Lethal Company. It's very similar, but it has its differences. It has its different enemies. The atmosphere is a lot different as well. And honestly, the art style for Roblox is really good. I think it's one of the better looking games on this list. I think the atmosphere and lighting are just very good for how few players are playing this thing. Definitely worth checking out, especially if you want to play with friends. A lot of the games on this list you can play with friends, but this one is very co-op oriented, so it's very fun. At number 5, we have Doors. Now, this is a game made by L-Splash, I believe they're called. They actually made one of my favorite FPS games, which is called Ragdoll Universe. They made that long before Doors, and I'm glad that they made Doors and made all their money, but it is sad that they don't update Ragdoll Universe anymore. But you can definitely tell a lot of the art style from that went into this game. And this game looks incredible, and it runs like buttery smooth. You probably have played it, but to give a refresher, basically, the first level is you walk through a big mansion, you open doors from 1 to 100, and you avoid a bunch of monsters. Then in the second area, you're in a mine shaft, and you have to do the same thing. Open doors 1 to 100, but this one has a lot of new mechanics, and I haven't really played too much of it. I'm definitely gonna go check it out and try to play it all the way until the end, because the first area was pretty cool, and I like the developers. At number 4, we have an absolutely criminally underrated game, and this is called Apple Pie, and it currently has 0 players online. I'm not kidding, it has 0 players, but it's actually quite a good game. Basically, you have to collect different ingredients for your apple pie. You follow some tracker things, but they're actually probably footsteps. I'm not going to spoil anything that happens, but basically you follow those and you'll get your ingredients to start making your apple pie. You'll get an apple, you'll get some sugar, you'll get some flour, and so on and so on. And you can play this one co-op as well. It's very fun solo because it's incredibly scary solo, even though the graphics look very, very simple. At the start, it's going to be super bright, and then it's going to get a lot more scary later on. But it's definitely worth checking out. You just have to walk around a lot. Number 3, we have The Butchery. This is a horror game that is actually quite a bit like one of the Resident Evil games. Is it Resident Evil 7? Basically, you're stuck in a house with a couple of scary guys with knives, and they do some weird experiments and weird things with animals. This is one of the more popular games on this list, but it's quite good. It's got a lot more combat than some of the other horror games on this list, so if you're not a fan of shooting and stuff like that, I wouldn't play this one personally. It's pretty cool. It has a whole story. It has AI voice actors, so not the best performances here from these guys, but it does have a cool inventory system and some combat, and it's pretty good. And number 2, we have the most unlikely horror game ever, which is State of Anarchy. This is an FPS PvP game, but it's a lot more of a horror game than many of the games on this list. It is so scary. Make sure to play on the Metro map, and you start with a pistol or a shotgun or something pretty weak, and you just have to try to survive and maybe extract and get some of your loot out. The main thing I like doing is trying to go hunt down other players, and you're probably simultaneously being hunted by those same players. It is very, very scary. There will be somebody prone in a corner with a shotgun, and they might one-shot you. You have to check every single corner. You have to go really slow. It's very tactical, but it ends up being a lot more of a horror game than you could ever imagine. It is very cool. Just keep in mind, if you're on mobile, you probably will never be able to play this game because it is very, very detailed and only on PC. Before we get to number 1, though, we have a couple of honorable mentions. And also, if you guys know a very good horror game, but you didn't see it on this list, make sure to leave a comment down below, and maybe I'll check it out for a part 2. And also subscribe, because if I get enough comments with new games, I will definitely make a part 2 for this video. But our first honorable mention is called Limbo. In this one, at the start, you hit a rock with a car, and you probably die, or you're in the middle of dying, and you get sent to some kind of limbo world. And at first, it looks normal, but then there is a lot more scary stuff later on. Definitely a bit slow at the start. There are some goofy puzzles and a lot of walking around, and actually some parkour, which is kind of funny. But if you like to have a little bit more story to your horror games, it's pretty cool. Like, it has some characters, I guess. And the other honorable mention is called Imagine. This game used to be quite popular, but it did kind of fall off a little bit. You have to explore a house, get a bunch of keys, get a bunch of lights and stuff like that, and try to piece together what happened to different family members. It's pretty spooky. Art style is very clean, and I like these games that I can definitely tell a lot of care was put into the art style versus some other horror games where it's kind of just goofy looking. And at number 1, we have Apeirophobia, I don't know how to say it. This is a backrooms game with a ton of levels. It used to be very popular. It's still quite popular, but definitely worth playing. They have a bunch of levels for it. All of them are very different. If you don't know what the backrooms is, you get sent into a secret dimension, I guess, which has a ton of different environments. Every single one has its own special monster you go up against. It's actually a very scary game. A lot of the different areas are super scary. Anyways, gamers, comment more horror games you guys like, and maybe I'll make a part 2, but I'll see you guys in the next one. Peace. Have a nice day.